It's girly power. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, this is the city, Los Angeles, California. That's where we are for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense here set to take over with Russell Wilson leading the way. Wilson, a Pro Bowler 5 times in his 7 NFL seasons, including last year when he threw for a career-high 35 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. Catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Push him back. Switch. Run left.
Now it's Wilson. And this is incomplete. Time for a look at the defensive starters now for the Rams. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Fourth down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Rams under 3rd-year head coach Sean McVay. They'll be led out by the 1st overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved his consistency throughout the season. Always good, occasionally spectacular. But right now, he's on the outside of that MVP race. What's it going to take for him to get it done down the stretch?
You're right, on the fringe. But, hey, it's Week 14. There's still a month left for him to make a lasting impression, have some scintillating plays, and then who knows?
Yeah, those scintillating plays, those splash plays, those plays we'll talk about for the next week leading up to the next game. He'll need a bunch of those down the stretch in order to win the award.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
We got 4.
Here's Goff. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. You know, you wonder how the Rams' game plan in Super Bowl 53 might have been different with a healthy Cooper Kupp. He was injured on November 11, torn ACL, out for the year. But he was on his way to a 1,000-yard season in his 2nd NFL campaign. Had 566 yards in 8 games before the injury. Connection made here. Goff to Higbee. The 40. The 20. 10. Touchdown, LA. Tyler Higbee. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Rams take a 7-0 lead. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So let's take a look here at the key inactives. And, Charles, I guess you get this late in the year, you expect to see some guys populating on this list.
You're exactly right. No one's happy about it, but it really shouldn't be a surprise. So the guys who are playing in their spots, in their stead, they have to step up now and make big plays for their team.
On 3rd down, Carson. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They run for it with Carson. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Max 50, Max 50. Get your swarm on.
Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He'll buy some time right. And a completion to Wilson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Samson Abukum coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might...
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, with that incompletion, let's look at some of the big games week 13. So these are ones that our crew probably think are the biggest 4. Let's rank them 1 to 4 as far as how big they are and what they mean. Baltimore at Buffalo, San Fran at New Orleans, KC at New England, Seattle at the Rams. How would you rank those? What do you think?
Well, this is going to sound self-serving since I'm working San Francisco and New Orleans, but to me that's the #1 game because the #1 seed in the NFC will be determined that week for that moment, okay? The winner of that becomes the #1 seed. I think the #2 game, Seattle at the Rams, because Seattle's trying to maintain pace with San Francisco or become the #1 team in the NFC West, and the Rams have to have it if they have any designs of making the playoffs. The #3 game, Baltimore at Buffalo. Buffalo's announced its presence, that big win on Thanksgiving Day over Dallas, but Baltimore's the hottest team, the best team in the league over the last 8 weeks, and then you finish up Kansas City, New England. How is that the #4 game?
I know.
Hard to believe, but it is in this instance.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Pick your game up. Check 3.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Goff. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Here's Goff. That'll be caught by Cup. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 26.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Able to get this to Gordon. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterback's got it.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. CD, as the Rams come back out here, you know, we've got a few Jekyll and Hyde teams in the NFL this season. Cowboys come to mind, the Bears, Buccaneers, but maybe none more than these LA Rams. One in Arizona, their 5th straight over the Cards, moves them to 7-5 on the year. But just look at the last 2 games. Thoroughly dominated by the Ravens at home, then thoroughly dominate the Cardinals on the road. What gives with this team?
I don't know, and we'd all love to have that answer in hand, because we figured this was a team that would compete for the Super Bowl again. Offensively, they've struggled. Offensive line has been a little bit in flux. Todd Gurley hasn't been the runner we've seen over the last few seasons, so that has hurt them in a big way. Defensively, you mentioned getting dominated by Baltimore. They ran the heck out of the ball against them, and that's not something you see against an Aaron Donald front But, boy, that looked like the Rams we expected against Arizona. And hello, Jared Goff, and welcome back. 32 of 43, 424 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's the quarterback the Rams expected to have all season long.
And right now, they're on the outside looking in for a playoff spot. Kind of a tough schedule to finish. Seattle, Dallas, San Fran, Arizona. 2 on the road and 2 at home. Still one more game to get to here to polish off Week 14, and that's tomorrow night for Monday Night Football. Should be a cold one in Philly. The Giants and the Eagles coming your way at 8:15 Eastern Time. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The third quarter starts with a run by Gurley. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now it's gone. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. CD, while we have a quick second here, I want to give a shout-out to 3 teams who have struggled mightily this year, who all got wins in Week 12. The Dolphins, the Redskins, and for their first win of the season, the Bengals.
How about you? I love your empathy, right? You hate to see teams struggle like this. Hate to see teams that are down. And when they get wins, you come with a little bounce, don't you? You got a little extra spring in your step. Those Bengals, and they beat the Jets, who at the time were hot, right? They won 3 in a row. How about Washington? That win over Carolina. And then, of course, the Dolphins. No one really saw that coming. Their win over Philadelphia, even though it was at home. Could those wins for those teams be the death knell for the teams that lost? The Jets, we're not going to talk about them anymore.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Carson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, You got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They're throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now it's Goff off the bootleg. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Again, Goff. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a 1st down on that last catch as well. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Goff now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Goff. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Goff. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. 3rd and long. It's Goff. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a gain of 35.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover, put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 23.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Wilson now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. This is Carson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. Oh, no, he lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. It's a foot race. He's at the 40. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes, because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. On first down, it's Gurley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now on 2nd and 13, Goff. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. Temptation there certainly to go for this, but I think you have to kick it, right?
The temptation coming from the fantasy owners, right? I mean, there are some that are going to want to kick it because they may have that kicker, but overall, get more yardage, maybe a chance for a touchdown. But no, absolutely not. Run that field goal kicker out there. Kick it. You've got to take the chance to take the lead right now. You don't want to put it back on your defense.
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one, because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big in this.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Yeah, baby. We got it. We got it. Max 50, Max 50.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. It's caught, block it. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop him with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the rookie from Washington, Taylor Rapp, who picked it. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Yeah, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium. That certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for L.A., it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's just their 3rd loss as they fall now to 10-3. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.